Hey, welcome back to the podcast, guys. Santos and Marcus here. Sorry to disappoint you. No guests, just two opinions that you guys are probably going to disagree with, or maybe some of you will agree with, but we're going to have fun today with our opinions. So thank you for joining us. If you caught last week's episode, we had the one and only running bear, Dan Brooks-Wells, and we decided we're going to ride that train just a little bit longer. We are going to pull what I like to call a Drew Gibson. When Simon got his leaky leak or stories or however you want to break it down, all of a sudden, MVP is even bigger than it was with Conrad because you got the one and only largest socials out there for disc golf, Simon, right? So Drew pulls coattails and says, I'm going to start doing videos for MVP because now everybody's looking at MVP, so somebody might click on one of mine on accident.
That's what we're hoping for, too. Maybe someone clicks on one of ours on accident.
We're just upfront about it, right? But no, I really, truly believe that Drew is of the any news is good news. How that saying goes, any press is good press.
Yeah,
so if you're making fun of him, or you're not, or you're with him.
We're still talking about him.
For the record, I'm neutral. I'm not for or against Drew. Make your money, do your hustle.
I've always thought Drew was entertaining.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
He's entertaining to watch. I don't know. I think he's a funny guy.
I think he's funny. I just hear tales of people on tour with him that say he's not. Something about the attitude that comes off a little abrasive.
I've read things on Reddit and stuff about his demeanor on the course and the way he talks to volunteers and spotters.
And I've actually spoken with people who have played multiple rounds with him. So it's not just met him one time or saw his interaction. Like they've played tournaments and they've been in rounds with him. So, they didn't say he's stop short. He's not an asshole, right? He's just a little abrasive, whatever you want to call it.
It's a little short on the course. He's not your best friend, which is fine. It's their job.
Yeah.
You don't need to be.
He's not there to be best friends, but you also don't need to speak to certain people in a certain way, right? Can I say that?
Yeah.
We can agree on that? Yeah. So I'm going to say I did catch a couple of his videos where he was putting up some of his discs against the MVP
stuff, yeah.
And he had the LOL about the 6.5 speed crave.
Oh, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, I saw that one, and I think it's Bob who will tell you the crave is the best disc ever made.
I think the Crave's a really good disc.
And it's also the same Bob that won't throw it when he needs to because he's got something else in his head and he wants to bag and throw a 12 speed off the tree 20 feet ahead. But we'll talk about that when we talk to Bob. We've thrown his name around a lot.
Yeah, we have mentioned Bobcat a lot, but he'll be on eventually.
All right, so here we go. MVP. What do you want to call them? Jibros?
The Jibros.
The Gyro Bros? Yeah, the Jibros.
The Jibros.
All right.
The MVP fans, the MVP fan page. I am just not a fan. I mean, we've already talked about it. I'm not a fan of amateurs throwing only one company or one family of companies. I think there's good discs out there from every company. I think each company does something well, but not everything great. So,
I was going to say, we talked about this. I'm going to keep being a dead horse here. We have new people. We are the amateur hour, and there's people who don't know, and we're letting them know. MVP, we mean 3 brands. MVP, Axiom, Streamline. So, all of them. So, you can say they're throwing one brand, but there's technically 3.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing different, an Axiom disc is supposed to be a used MVP disc.
Is that the difference?
Yes.
I truly thought it was they wanted the recognition of having the black gyro disc that is scientifically proven to go farther. I don't know why I did that, because if it's science and it's proven, then I can't do that. It has to be proven to go farther.
Is. It's just probably not at the speed we can throw discs.
I've
read
Simon's throwing 14 and a half.
But not even the speed he's throwing discs. Like, you need to be throwing discs at, scientific speeds to see the effects of gyro. Is something I've read.
So all of their science doesn't matter to us because no one's throwing it that fast.
Because no one's physically throwing a disc fast enough.
I do know someone throws faster than Simon now, but he's one of the top throwers.
No, I'm talking speed. like in a physics problem, scientific fast.
No, I get that. I'm just saying you're not going to get that on tour from the big guns. When it comes to speed, I know he throws pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
All right, so I thought it was to differentiate itself. They had to have the black rim, and then I really just thought you're doing the same thing with some Axiom. You just want to pop with the bright colors to get people's attention.
No,
honestly.
I'm looking it up right now. It's
Cool.
I think it's a Mayhem it's supposed to be a beat up Octane out of the box.
Okay, well,
Like,
amateur hour for a reason. Now you're going to explain it to me because I don't understand the concept of having multiple brands just so you can sell a beat-in version of a disc under another name. But if that's their
that's how I've heard them
okay,
explain. Let me find the Octane.
well, Jai Bros, stand up, defend yourself, help us out, give us a little knowledge, tell us what you believe it is. I started watching a podcast for the Trevor Staub. It stumbled into accident. It was just autoplay. I don't really follow that one, but it happened to be about 11, 12 months ago, and it was Steve Holloway
Yes, Steve Holloway, MVP
explaining
Steve.
the science behind it and that it is proven and that they just don't like their players saying flat out that the gyro technology is better than the other people's discs because it comes off as elitist saying we're better than you. So I guess Simon is in that learning curve where he's going to be able to prove it. Pretty sure Dan Brookswell said it is just period. That's how he felt with it. He loved it.
Yeah.
But you're going to give us science. What do you got with your numbers?
The Octane is 13.5 minus 1.2. The Mayhem is 13.5 minus 1.52. So it's just a slightly beat up version
Okay.
of an Octane.
Well, you know what? We're not going to go by these numbers because they're very, very.
But then they
iffy
also
at
have
best.
the Nitro and the Panic have the exact same numbers.
Right. That's what I mean. The number system isn't a standard number system across all manufacturers. So
Or like a
do with that
Tenacity
what
is a
you will.
beat up Catalyst. Like things like that. Or a Zenith is a beat up Thrill, which is out of production.
there's something to say about all these new molds coming out for them. I'm sure there's a handful of molds here for people who've been throwing since day one. They would like those to come back. So MVP,
There's definitely people who want.
you
Some
don't
of these molds
necessarily
back.
have to keep coming up with new molds. I mean, sure, for James Conrad
Well,
you did, and for Simon you're gonna, but
it's the new molding.
the new technology.
Their new manufacture because they manufacture in house now. They
That's
can't
why they
make certain molds.
Okay, that's right. And who made theirs beforehand?
I don't know. No one. They just had them done out of. Now they have the technology.
But they would
in-house.
own the
They
molds.
owned it all. Yeah.
So they could revisit some of these if they owned the molds.
Yes, but it's the bonding of the overmold to the
Okay.
inner core.
Okay.
Apparently is an issue with certain ones of these molds. That's why they had to remake. That's why like the vector's out of production and the reactor exists.
Okay.
Like those discs are fairly similar, but
Now you're talking my language. My mids are all MVP.
My mids
my
were all
entire
MVP.
mid core. Oh,
that was all I threw.
subtle brag. Why aren't your discs MVP anymore?
I'm sponsored.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Speaking
I-
of sponsored, speaking of MVP, anyone out there, okay, this is a lot of opinions that we throw back and forth, but every once in a while we ask for hardcore facts. If anyone out there knows the true details of Conrad's contract and why he could not throw Streamline or even Axiom,
I thought-
was he able to throw Axiom the first
Yeah,
year?
you can throw Axiom.
Okay, so he couldn't throw Streamline, or
They've been
maybe
doing for 3 years, is my understanding.
mine too. But we also heard Simon had a 4-year contract if he was going, and then there's rumors. So if anyone knows for a fact why he couldn't throw Streamline, and then Simon comes in and he can throw everything, let us know in the comments, please. I'm just curious. Was it a preference thing, or was it MVP just saying we need the big stage, we want everyone to see gyro in the air?
Probably the second one.
Probably.
But I think someone needs to put an Echo in Simon's hands still. I think it's the most MD1 disc.
I believe he did try one, didn't he?
I haven't seen him throw one on video.
Okay. We'll have to
That
run it
brings
back.
me into my next point. So we'll start talking about the Gybros again.
Okay.
First off, I hate the Gybros.
That's a strong word, hate.
I don't like
Attack.
a lot of you out there. It's not your fault. I just don't. There's a certain subsect of them that hates Streamline. They're like, no, Streamline's bad, even though it's made by the same people. But
Clearly, they just want the gyro.
they
in
just
the
want
air
the gyro.
and nothing else.
But they can't throw 300 feet, so it doesn't matter.
Are you serious? you can't put anything on the internet that isn't true. And I see all of these guys saying they bomb 450 when they're switching between discs. And you're telling me that's not true?
Yeah, internet distance a real thing.
What are the real distances we talk about when you're saying when someone can throw a line, right? You say, can they throw a golf line?
Yeah,
or
a
is
golf
it
line or a max distance line.
max distance line, right? And now you're saying there's an internet line we have to worry about too?
Yeah, everyone throws like 30 feet farther on the internet. Everyone thinks they throw 400. You don't. I don't. I think I do. I don't. I know I've reached 400-foot holes before.
I was gonna say I've seen you reach a couple.
Yeah, but
Maybe
I
circle
don't.
one. And, okay, so
Right,
maybe
you get
not
short
quite
circle
bombing it,
one,
yeah.
make the putt.
Okay.
You make
okay.
it. But
All right.
like 15 at Como, I've reached in the long. That hole's like,
This is feeling very like I'm not even a gyro, but I'm attacked. Like why? They come out there and they're allowed to have their opinion if they think they're better than everyone else.
but they're not. They're all discs.
Okay, I mean, I have mine here. Who put this in my hand? You did, didn't
Me,
you?
because they're great.
Put this in my hand. I used to throw an infinite mid and put that in my hand. Immediately started flying so nice. And I never looked back that entire summer until it got cold, a little moisture in the air. That plastic is just a little slippery for me for winter rounds. So I put it away. I brought back out the old mid, but it's probably only going to last another 2-3 weeks, honestly.
Yeah, it's getting warm again.
Making some trips and getting warmer down south. I can't wait to throw that because that is money in the woods. Even though I hate the woods.
No, I think the Streamline Echo is the closest replacement to the original Mako mold. The original Innova Mako mold.
It is so funny that you always refer. So
I love
I'm
the
new.
original Mako.
I'm new. We beat that again. But whenever somebody speaks to the straight throwing mid, it's the Buzz, best selling disc of all time. Everybody just compares everything to a Buzz, but you have never once compared anything to a Buzz. It's
don't
always
like
the
the
Mako.
Buzz.
Always, no
Because the
matter
Buzz
what.
isn't a straight flying disc. The Buzz is an overstable mid range.
No.
If you throw it flat, it's gonna immediately start to.
Okay.
For most amateurs, if you throw a Buzz flat, it's gonna immediately start to fade.
I'm gonna say no, but I had a Z Flex for my first one.
Yeah, I think
So
I think
I
of
bought
a
a
Z Buzz.
I bought a starter
or
pack.
or an ESP Buzz. Like they don't go straight for that long.
The way I started was a starter pack from Innova, and Christian had a starter pack from Yikun. Like
Seriously?
we were sitting at a bar. I saw a basket,
Yeah.
triggered it. Christian lived in Texas. He lived in Washington, the state of Washington, and he goes, "Hey, I've played Frolf." He still calls it Frolf to this day. So anybody that wants to go after Christian, feel free. But he said, "I've played it," and he said it's really fun. So we're sitting at the bar. I grab my phone. I go on Amazon. I just look up starter packs, and I didn't want to get the same one for both of us.
Yeah.
I want to try different things.
Yeah.
Yikun was an option, and so was Innova.
Yeah.
So Innova had like AVR,
AVR, a shark, and a leopard.
shark, and a leppy. Yep. And then I can't remember his Yikun one because those changed when we looked it up recently.
Yeah.
But the first discs after I got hooked with those, I did a little bit of research online. When I say a little bit, I probably spent like 2 or 3 hours just looking top selling discs and what they do. I didn't get too much into the background of everything, or else I probably would have went in a different direction. But my first purchased discs to try to get distance or whatever was Tesla and a Buzz.
Tesla and a Buzz.
Tesla and a Buzz, the Z Flex Buzz. And I
Yeah,
threw
Z
that
Flex
as
is
a
a
new
little less
person.
stable.
And it wasn't. It was, I mean, it had a reliable finish. It didn't just automatically hook out of the hand.
Right, but it has reliable finish.
It had reliable
the Mako
finish.
doesn't finish.
But it beat in so fast, it was just.
yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
The Mako
because
doesn't have finish.
I didn't throw the Mako. I threw the Mako 3 by the time I
yeah,
came
which
around.
those are flippy.
And I really liked it.
Yeah, they're good.
I still have one.
I mean, I got one because I watched Paul throw it 400 feet on a rope when I started.
Okay. I guess
And I was
that'll
like,
work.
oh, I got to try one of those. And that's why I started throwing the Nova, which is one of my favorite
I still
discs
don't know
ever.
why you do that. And you have a stack of those.
Yeah, I've got like 10 or 12 Novas.
Oh
I
my
think they're a
God.
great disc for training, for learning how to throw. I think they're awesome.
Okay, so
I think if you can't throw a Nova, you're bad.
I think that's wrong because it's just the grip and the feel of it. It doesn't feel right in everyone's hands. I'm just going to defend myself because, yes, I've tried. He gave me a stack to learn forehand. And whatever side of the fence you're on here, Some people say put a putter in the hand, easiest way to learn forehand. Some people say it's a bad idea. He's of the opinion that stacking novas on a forehand are going to teach you how to throw.
It's going to teach you how to get spin.
That.
Which you need spin to throw a forehand far and not wobble.
Yeah. All right. I guess. I'll give you that. But regardless.
Because yours wobbles still.
Yes, it does. But again, we've had this talk. I don't put enough work into it at all.
Right.
On the course, I do it. Even if I'm at a field, when the rare occasion I do field work, I don't spend much time on forehands. I spend a lot of time in the 9 to 12 range.
Yeah, because
trying to figure my life
amateurs
out.
and we want to throw farther.
Yes.
We don't spend enough time putting. We spend too much time throwing 12 speeds.
Not necessarily that I'm just out here trying to get distance. Like I'm out here trying to learn
How to control them.
How to control it, because we've established when it comes to that straight tunnel shot, I'm better at it than you. I just have a lot of confidence in throwing straight, and I can't throw very far, but I can throw straight. But when I look at a basket, even when there's room, I want to throw kind of straight-ish at it. And you're telling me the simple throw is the hyzer line and just repetition, just get that in your head and just take the hyzer shot and let it come back. So in a field, I'm somewhere in between finding my disc that I can flip up and kind of get straight, or try to learn that hyzer line. Because to me, every time I try to throw the hyzer line, it's just a lot shorter distance that I'm getting.
Yeah, you got to throw farther.
So I just figure if I can throw straighter, find a flippier disc, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
When I'm there and I'm trying to work on some mids. So
yeah. I mean, I love throwing hyzer flips. I can't throw a flex shot for distance. I throw hyzer flips for distance.
Right. And you trying to get me to do that, and I've been doing it more and more, and it's starting to click.
Because
really.
a hyzer flip is going to stay on the same plane, on the same line longer.
Yes. So
because the whole time it's riding, the whole time it's on hyzer, it's going straight. The whole time it's riding up, it's going straight. The whole time it's flat, it's going straight.
Yeah.
If it turns a little bit, it moves a little bit to the left or right, and then it fades back.
Which this does now. So Bob put an Anubis in my hand a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, and that was the one I was using for my mid for the flip up. I had to give it a little more hyzer, and it was working very well, and it was doing fantastic on straight shots, and it had a little turn. And it would, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it fade because it was coming right back. But once I saw this and you put it in my hands and I threw this flat and it had some turn, just like a little bit of turn that it kind of held straight and it just bombed, then that was the go-to from then on. So I didn't have to do the hyzer flip for this.
No, you don't. You throw it flat, it holds flat.
It does.
That's what I like. It's torque resistant. And
Yes.
a lot of people like to use that term incorrectly.
I don't have torque, so I can't say it's torque resistant, but I have seen people who can throw with torque.
You can throw it
in the
hard,
handles.
and it won't turn over.
Right.
But with good form, it won't turn over. If you have bad form and you throw it hard and you just rip over on it, it's going to turn over.
That really matters. Let's take a second to approach that. It's the nose angle, right? Because somebody was talking about like with the glitch. If you throw that really hard, it's dumping, right? But if you throw it nice, smooth motion, hard with a little nose up, that thing will hold the line and it'll go. So it's kind of the same thing when you're trying to rip these things.
Yeah, glidey mids.
If you give it that little bit of nose down or flat, you're going to get that more turn. And
that's why so many amateurs you see online saying, my mids and my drivers go the same distance. What's wrong? It's nose up.
Okay.
Because the mid or the putter uses and gets all that air under it and glides forever. The driver gets all that air under it and fades out.
So I think it was Sam Stiggs. I think it was one of his things that he was trying to teach me, where as soon as you throw a driver in the air, it's trying to land. As soon as you get it up, it wants to go down. Putters and mids, they'll float and they'll hold it a little longer. So you can throw those a little higher or a little lower to get that glide. And that's when I started putting in more work with putters, and I got into the Envy, which I guess is another envy. I didn't really think about that.
Yeah,
my throwing, I got two throwing putters, right? Off the tee, but I got to bomb it. It's when I say bomb, mine go not in that distance. It's measured between 2 and 225. I can get to a hole with it. So I use the Envy and I use the Crystal Fierce because it's understable. Yeah. I get really good glide out of that thing, and that'll hold a turn and make it around the corner for me. What do you? Have you made up your?
Oh, my Voodoo. I thought I was gonna replace the Nova with a Voodoo. Mm-hmm. It's 2300. Mm-hmm. In diamond plastic, in premium, it is a hog. It
Really?
just fades so hard. I was not prepared for that.
I thought, so what was it, 2 years ago when Bob and DBW put the Envy in my hand, and what's the other one that we were talking about?
The Proxy?
The Proxy. And they didn't feel right in my hand. I just couldn't throw
They're
them.
they're 3-speed putters, not
Right.
2-speed putters.
Right. But I couldn't throw them. They didn't feel comfortable.
No, try a Wizard.
Felt shaky when it came. I've seen you putting with those things. I don't know.
Yeah, throw them. They're great.
I'll try throwing one. I'll try anything.
I got a couple.
Throwing. But yeah, so fast forward, a couple of years, I get better with my form, better with my throwing, and I got the Envy back again. And man, that thing really is
It
nice.
bombs.
It really is. And then I'm gonna try the Proxy again, just because I have a couple of those Neutron Soft Proxies.
Yeah, those are fun to throw. They're really good.
But the Neutron Soft, which we don't have enough time to cover all the way the plastics are for
effects,
MVP.
yeah.
But the Neutron Soft is actually more stable.
They're so stable.
So I haven't even thrown this Proxy yet. So I might have to go down a plastic to get
regular
comfortable with it,
Neutron,
because if I'm thinking of Neutron Soft, it might even match my Envy that I have
Envy, yeah.
now.
It probably does.
So I have a Eclipse Envy.
Right. Those were not as stable as I expected.
It's not, but I dyed it, so I don't want to let it go.
Right.
It's personal reasons. It's a very nice one. It's beating in real nicely, and I can throw it very well. So.
All right. Well, you want to talk about glow plastic? We were talking about it out there at Putting League.
You were?
Yeah, but the glow insanities.
Yes. Oh God, another reason.
This is why I think everyone that throws MVP and posts on the fan page doesn't know how to play disc golf.
I saw this.
Everything I heard was, the 2021, 2022. When did we play that glow league? 2021.
It's 2021.
2021 Halloween glow insanities were just the most stable disc ever.
We get to do this finally. We'll put a picture of it
Yeah.
so you know exactly which one
Yeah,
we're talking
put a picture
about.
of the exact run. I, out of the box, Heiser flipped like 3 different ones from 3 different people. They were not stable.
My first real glow round, somebody let me throw one of those because I didn't have that many. I did have a glow crave, which I'm not giving up anytime soon. But they let me throw it, and everything I read online was these things are beef, and the glow plastic makes it so much more stable. And I didn't flip it over like he did, but it held my line for so long before it faded out. So I have to agree with him on that. There was just too much hype about how stable it was, and it just really wasn't.
Like, unless we threw the most freak run ever of that run, the most freak discs, they were not stable. And I don't know.
Well, let's go a little more about the runs. So, who has the bad? Innova has a bad name for consistency, right?
They produce so many discs. It's just
quality control's just out the window. They're just like throw plastic out there and they'll buy
There's
it.
an awesome video. I'll put a card up in the top corner.
Okay.
About the different how to tell what kind of destroyer you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's such a good video. He does such a good job on it. I don't remember who it was. It's not like a well-known content creator.
Is there a similar issue with anything that MVP does where you have to figure out what run it is that you know or you've heard?
So pre and post them moving the production in-house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The old Pyros were more stable. They were flatter.
I feel that.
Old Traces were less stable than the Cosmic Neutron new ones. And then they invented Cosmic Neutron. Then everyone was like, let's put swirls in it. And then Swirly was the big thing. And then Cosmic Neutron came out. Cosmic Neutron is really overstable.
It's really pretty too.
It's awesome. It's such good plastic. It's so good for the pros because they can just rip on these things and they'll hold their lines.
And
But you want the old Photons were like mini destroyers. They were the rim width was 11.5. Just below a destroyer. They fit great in your hand. They flew like destroyers.
I was just making a note of that because you said that 11.5. Again, if anyone knows the details on why, just let us know.
Why they're half speeds?
Why can't they do a 12?
Oh, why can't they make a 12 speed?
Why can't they make a 12?
don't know.
I know it's subjective and numbers are all over the place.
Technically,
but
the Photon,
you got an
according
11.5?
to MVP, is 11 speed. According to Infinite and according to measurements, it's an 11.5 speed. If it's just between...
So wait, now you're telling me there is some sort of standardization that on a measurement it could tell you the speed?
Typically, that's how they do the
So
That's how the
Drew
speed-
just talked about that in his, and he said the maximum width and the angle on the size of it can only go so big.
It can only go so big. It's
So
only
you can
15
still
speed.
call that 13 and 14 or 14.5, and it's still the same measurement. I believe that's
So,
what he said in his
If
video.
you go to Axiom's website They list their discs by rim width.
Yeah, no, I get that, but
So 14.5 speed, 24.5 millimeter
yes.
rim. 13 speed, 23 millimeter rim. Therefore, a
Does
14 speed.
any other
would-
major manufacturer follow that?
I don't know. Let me check.
Because we're getting dangerously close to standardization if that happens, and we don't want that.
No, God forbid.
But yes, I've heard people complain, and then I heard people say, now that Simon's here, we're getting a 12 speed.
They will. Without a doubt.
Why?
Because Simon's hands fit a 12 speed. He's thrown a 12 speed his whole career. He's thrown the PD2 and the
The
DD3.
11.5 speed doesn't qualify. Wait, what's the 13? The Octane?
The Octane, yeah. No, they feel different. If you grab an Octane and grab a DD3 or grab a PD2, your hand just doesn't fit around it as nicely if you're used to one thing.
Okay.
So maybe we use Innova's measurements as our standardization. Maybe that's what happened.
Okay.
I don't know. But I can tell you that a Destroyer or a PD2 or an XCal, the rim width is... Oh, God, what does this mean?
Huh?
Is 22 centimeters. What does that mean in Axiom? These must measure differently.
Which is why we don't have standardization.
Which is probably, yeah, because Infinite measures something different than Axiom does.
Infinite literally tells the manufacturer, your numbers are wrong, and we're going to put this number on there. How is
Yeah.
that allowed?
But the Destroyer on Infinite has the numbers of 12.5, 0.3, or 12.5 negative 1.3.
Again, but why do I want to go by what Infinite says?
Because Infinite uses like crowdsourced, based on what a bunch of amateurs think.
And aren't you the guy here telling us that you really don't like what the amateurs think?
Yep.
That just made a lot of sense. Marcus is an amateur.
Man, I'm 940 rated.
Oh,
You can
he's
see it.
sponsored. He's 940. Are you MPO player?
Might be this year.
Doesn't count for Western New York. Our ratings are skewed.
Okay, now
He can
Santos
jump
hates
into
him.
MPO here, but Santos what?
Santos thinks everyone's bad around here.
I don't think everyone's bad. I think the numbers are skewed. I think you're like Spencer. Spencer was top of MA1 last year before he went MPO. He won.
Oh, okay. 24.5 millimeters is 2.45 centimeters.
Okay.
So 2.2 centimeters would be 22.0.
Okay.
So 22 is 12 speed, 23 is 13 speed, 24 is 14 speed, 24.5 is 14.5 speed.
Okay.
So maybe we did come off Innova's numbers. I don't know.
Okay.
That's not something I know.
All right. Well,
But Santos still thinks Western New York's bad at disc golf.
I didn't say they're bad. I just said it's skewed. We have lower ratings. Anyone who really follows and tracks ratings for like what their goals and they only play certain tournaments because of they're guaranteed a rating or they stay away from other ones because there's bad rating. Anyone who does that knows that the ratings are skewed here. When Spencer is what was he was 970 or something like that. As an MA1 player, he kept winning. So it was like you got to move up. You keep winning MA1. Then he goes to like. Was it
I went to U.S. amateurs.
U.S. amateurs, right? And then he's up against the country's MA1 players, and he didn't do so hot, right? And
Right.
He knew he struggled, right? But he can compete in MPO here. I mean, he's sponsored
yeah.
by us. He's a good player. I'm not putting him down. He's a really good player. But on a larger, not even national, but a regional scene, where you go up against those real, go to Charlotte. My God, and you're not going to be an MPO. You're not even going to be an MA1 player in Charlotte. I'm just telling you the facts.
I'm going to
I've
be an
seen 'em.
MA1 player.
I've seen them. You're going to go play MA1. You're going to be at the bottom
No.
until you can get used to it.
I'm not going to be at the bottom.
You're going to
Disc
be at
golf's
the
still
bottom.
disc golf.
No, those ratings, they're a lot tougher. Ask anyone who's played down there. Ask Bob, ask Lisi, ask Justin.
Disc golf's still
It's
disc golf.
different.
Any given
Okay,
Sunday.
yeah, it is, but the ratings are different. You're going to have players who play more to their true rating down there
Sure.
than you do here.
I mean, someone just did the math in New England disc golf, or maybe it was Massachusetts disc golf, of everyone who's classified as a pro and what their rating is. And it's a bell curve, and it's a huge bell curve around like 950.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw it on the Facebook page. It was really cool math that someone
Okay.
did.
So around here, most people will say if they win a division, they're moving up. If they win a tournament in a division, they're moving up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way to go. So that's what some people do.
No, play to your ratings.
You should play. You should absolutely play to your ratings.
Exist for a reason.
But if you finish podium 3-4 times in a division, you're kind of pressured, or you feel like you have to move up.
Yeah, which you shouldn't.
Because your ratings
if
are
your rating is still
questionable.
Sure, if you're playing in MA1 and you're shooting 1,000 rated golf and coming in third every time, then you must just play in an area where 1,000 rated golf is MA1.
Right.
That's hard. But the fact that your rating is still low enough that is under 970 and you haven't accepted cash.
If you're at that borderline, yeah, but you've got people 940, 925, 930 rated that want to play open here.
Yeah, and that's just donating. Like, you can donate all you want.
And then they say, well, I'm doing it because I'm playing with better players. You're still not competing. You're not in the division you should be in.
Right, but
that's what I mean. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're playing above their rating. They should stay where they fit, get in where you fit in, compete. And I'm not saying even if you win one to move on, but get your ratings up, get your wins in, get your podium finish, get yourself in those positions before you move on to the next stage.
You're saying I should stay in MA1.
I'm definitely saying, how many MA1 tournaments did you podium? You didn't play last year's.
I played like none.
Yeah.
I've won like 3 or 4.
Right. Okay. So I'm saying if you compete this year, you start at MA1. If you get a couple podium finishes and your ratings are where you think they are and you're playing as good as you think you can play, then you consider moving up.
Yeah.
But you're considering moving up now.
I've beaten a lot of our MPO players.
I've beaten you. Does that make me better than you?
No, because you don't do it consistently. I've beaten
a
lot of our
No,
I've beaten them at leagues though.
Okay, your score at league is better than their score at league.
Yeah,
I get that. Is that a true indicator? Like, people play? I feel like they play more loose and fun when they're at a league than a sanctioned.
So then that's I don't.
You don't.
If I'm going to play disc golf, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Definitely have a different mindset at leagues. I'm having fun. It's casual.
I want to win. Fun is winning.
I talk shit and laugh. During a sanctioned event, you won't hear me talk barely at all. I have my headphones in and.
No, fun for me is winning.
Well, it's fun for everybody if you can win. That's
some people have fun going out there and playing.
So
I definitely found that I was getting too serious about it, and I was caring too much, and I was losing too much, and I was not having fun. Where I took some time off.
Well, there can only be one winner. So what do you describe as losing? Do you mean like
not winning? If you ain't first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
Hold on, you did not just flip that shit on me. You've got to be kidding me. I got to keep better records here. So this is coming from the guy who caddies for me and tells me, excellent job. Approach shot within 15 feet. You're gonna make the putt. Yes. I'm pissed. I'm screaming. I didn't get it at least basket high or further because that means I gave it a try. And he's like, "You're out of your mind. You're dumb. You didn't.
How often
are
the pros giving it a run and not approaching?
The pros are within 15 feet or going a little bit past it. That means they gave it an honest effort.
But they're not trying to give it an honest effort.
They are trying to give it an honest effort.
I'm
not saying they're trying to throw it in from 300, but they are definitely not coming up short every time.
Yes, they are. You're trying to land short so it skips under the basket.
You're trying to skip under the basket.
Which is landing short.
You're not trying to land 15, 20 feet back. So when you're giving it an honest effort, you're trying to get it under the basket, you're going to have more than a handful that go past the basket. Not necessarily flying by, but you're going to have them basket high or past it. That means an honest effort. If you never get it that high or past it, you've never really given it a shot.
But if you're still 15 feet, you're the same 15 feet whether you're short or long.
But you got to be long to say you gave it a shot.
No, if you are 15 feet, then you did your job. You got to 15 feet where you can make the putt.
15 feet was probably a bad number for me.
Fine, 25 feet.
That's the number to use because it's questionable for amateurs. 25 and out, as we found out.
As we find out at Putting League every week.
It's a good distance to talk about. That's probably the one I should have went with. Doesn't matter.
25 feet.
Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is get to the basket or go past it a couple times means you gave it an honest effort.
You're still in the circle.
And you keep telling me no, just getting it inside the circle is good.
Dude, I'm stoked.
Now you're telling me if you don't win, you're bad.
If I hit my drive in golf onto the green, I'm stoked. That means I have a chance to birdie.
False. You're not making a 40, 50-foot putt.
In golf?
Some of those greens are big.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you have a chance. You're on the green. You're not chipping. So if you're on the green in disc golf, you're inside 60 feet, you have a chance. If you're inside 30, you have a pretty good
I have a
chance.
chance from inside 50.
And if you're inside 33, you have a pretty good chance. That's why the circle is the circle.
MPO, FPO, maybe
MPO,
MA1, FA1.
MPO, FPO, FA1, MA1. You should have a 85% chance to make a putt inside the circle.
We actually talked. Did we talk about these numbers? We did it with Nate when we were here last time. We said how many should happen.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And he talked about 5 or 6.
Yeah, he said 5 or 6 for MA1, and maybe I just hold myself to a really high standard.
I know I do because I'm like the pros at that 25 foot should make 10.
Yeah, the
If
pros
you're
should
an
make
MPO, FPO, MA1, FA1, 25 feet and in should be automatic.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
30
all
feet
of
should be 90%.
So I figured for us at 25 feet it should be 7 or 8.
I think
so. When I don't make that, I'm very pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm hard on myself, but I don't really caddy for too many people, so I can't encourage them or tell them what they're doing wrong. I caddy for people who I know their bag, or they just need somebody to do the hauling for them, and they know what they're going to do. So I don't give advice or cheer you on if you're within the circle, or because I feel like you're coming up short. You should at least give it an honest attempt to get pin high or a little bit further on approaches. At least out of 18 holes, let's just say a 1 round tournament, if you do it by day or whatever, 18 holes, your approach shot, let's say a par 4 better, not talking about drives. Par 4, okay. You have to have an approach. I'm saying if you have 7 par 4s, at least 4 of them have to be pin high.
You want to be pin high or longer?
Or longer. To say I gave it that honest effort, I got the distance right, this is where I'm putting it. If I'm constantly coming up short of that, I don't feel I gave it an honest effort. It's my opinion. I'm allowed to have one, you're allowed to have one. If you say you agree with him and if you get inside the circle of your money, cool, you're allowed to do that. I just feel like I need to be better.
The same circle, front, back, left, or right.
That's true, but I just want it to be, if I'm pin high, in my mind, if I'm pin high, that's really the goal. Not to be past it, but pin high.
Pin high.
My putting is going to be closer to the pin. Not pin high at circle's edge, but pin high meaning I'm going to be a little closer. Well, I think means I gave it that effort.
That's what being an amateur versus a pro means, is the size of that circle.
Yeah.
The size of that circle you're aiming for gets bigger the better you get.
Yeah.
You can more confidently aim for, I can get 25 feet, and I'm fine. I'm happy with 25 feet.
Before our putting league, my struggle was anything outside of 25. Now that we have this putting league and it's set to 25 and 30 consistently, my putting, as you know, has gotten a lot better.
Your putting's gotten a lot better.
I'm more confident. A
lot of guys in our league have gotten a lot better at putting.
Yes, a lot more confident.
I have noticed this week.
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my phone because we are keeping stats. We can share it now and talk about it more later.
How many putts do you think we threw today?
I sent you, so what we do is double elimination, but we do a qualifying bracket.
We do a Swiss bracket to start. So say I win and Santos wins, we would play each other to decide who's better. And then the 2-1 teams play the 2-1 teams to see who goes, and so on. So we did 5 rounds of that. We had 5 teams. You do 5 rounds. Someone gets a bye every round. So that we play those to 11, where you get 2 putts per side. You putt from 25, throw 2 putts. You putt from 30, you throw 2 putts. We counted up how many putts we think we threw.
Yep. And I was eliminated, I think, 1 round before you.
1 round after me.
After you. Okay.
I was eliminated first.
Okay. So once again, I went further than Marcus, for the record.
I'm very happy with how I did this week.
Doesn't matter. Neither of us won, so we're just still here talking. So during qualifiers, and we only went to 11, sometimes we go to 21, depending on how people are feeling.
If there's more people, we go to 11.
Yeah.
But you play more matches.
Right. 46 putts in qualifiers.
Yeah.
46, so you got to split them down the middle between 25 and 30. And then including the double elimination bracket, 100 putts.
We play double elimination to 21.
To 21, yes.
So basically double the length of the game. You're guaranteed at least 2 double elimination games. Santos got 3.
Yes. Which I usually get.
You usually get 3,
I usually get 3 because my putting is good enough to carry, or I'll get a partner that can carry me. Shout out to Chris. I struggled the first one, and then we helped each other out. But 100 putts. 100 putts in a 2 to 2.5 hour window.
Yeah.
And they're all from 25 and 30. So a lot of people have gotten better from that distance, more confident from that distance.
And there's pressure on every putt. It's not just in your backyard where you throw a putt and go, I missed it.
And depending on which pro you talk to, that gives you a tip, this is the better style to learn from because you're not standing in one place, launching a bunch of putters and adjusting your angle based on what you did. You're putting and then you have to leave. The other person putts, and then you come back to your station set up just like a putt in a tournament. You don't get a second putt from that station. You're walking up fresh, you're getting your angle, you're getting motion down, and you're letting fly. That's the most realistic way to practice putting.
Yeah, and I think that every putt, and to me, every putt matters. From the first one to the last one, if I miss and the person next to me that I'm playing against makes it, I'm like, damn, I left one out there.
That happened to me on our final one. I had 2 opportunities to close it out. I didn't, and it happened to be a fellow team member, Luke, who will tell you he just automatically assumes I'm a better putter. It's because I usually am. But I had an opportunity. I had the pressure. It was all on me. Make these putts, send them home. I didn't make them. I let him live another day. I was frustrated. Then I think we got the score wrong. I gave him an extra point where we should have won the next round. He took that point. He took the win, sent us home. So there is pressure. And we'll share a couple of our videos that we did take of putting league.
We'll throw a link up.
You'll hear me talking to myself a couple of times saying, "Sink this." This is pressure. This is something that I want to work on at a tournament. It's pressure that you're putting on yourself. You have a teammate that you're feeling the pressure for because you want to help them out. You don't want to leave them hanging. So you don't have that in a tournament, but that amount of pressure, building it up, you'll know what it feels like when you actually comes time to the tournament and you know you have to run it, right?
Right.
Which is something we talked about with Tracy today.
Yeah.
Tracy has won more than half of our events.
Yeah, putting
Tracy's
league.
FPO. Putting league, she's won more than half our events. She's lights out, but she doesn't putt this way during her tournaments, she said.
That's what she told us, yeah.
She's afraid of the comebacks. And there aren't any comebacks when you're making them all, Tracy. So when you go out there, take that little adjustment period of just full sending the way you do here. My goodness.
So that's what Dan told me. That's what DBW told me when I was talking to him about the mental game. I was just telling him, I was like, man, I can't commit to these shots in tournaments. And he said, just go out there to your C tiers and blow up for 3 C tiers in a row. Just commit.
Really?
Just throw every disc exactly how you want to, as hard as you can. Do whatever you want to do. Just commit and just tank. If that's what happens.
That's the whole get worse before you get better because your motions and everything.
Keep throwing the shots.
Okay.
Just don't say, oh, I'm going to lay this one up. Just rip another one. Go to the next hole, rip another one. If you shank it, you shank it.
Yeah.
You rip the next shot.
Yeah. I got that advice a couple years ago from Ricky Steeler when we were playing around in Rochester. I think it was Chilai. I was laying up my putts. So very, very gentle, soft putt that would hit the front of the cage and drop or barely touch anything and drop because I was always afraid of the comebackers. And Ricky said, what are you doing? I said, I don't want to miss because I can't make the comebackers. And he said, you never will if you don't miss. So full send your putts, and then you'll get confident making them coming back. And I've slowly gotten better at that. I think I've put in more time putting than on the field just to get better.
That's what most people say amateurs should do, is spend more time putting than
inside
driving.
Out. Inside out. Work your game inside out. Get your putting. Because as an amateur, you're basically playing for somebody else to make a mistake. And you're just trying to play for that par. Making those putts will be the difference because you have this new guy who can throw 400 feet, but he can't putt worth a lick. You're definitely making up strokes on him there. I've seen it. I've done it. I think I won the AMs. The one that I won, Eric was on my card. Eric, he's MPO player now. He's one of the king of PWC.
Fetterman?
Yeah, Fetterman. Fetterman was on my card. He could absolutely outthrow me. He knew it.
Yeah, he goes far.
Yeah, he absolutely outthrew me. My putting or my throws just landed where I needed them to, and my putting got me home. Mm-hmm. I got the win. And since he's progressed, he's already MPO. I'm MA2 or MA1, depending who's there.
Western New York MPO.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he bombs. His putting is good. He's a good player. He is. But at the time, he was just bombing everything past me, and I'm just watching like, wow, lasers. But I was consistent, and I could see him. He was shaking his head after I'd make a throw, and he's like, you couldn't just walk up and place your disc in a better place than when you're landing. Like, you're on, your shots are there, and then my putts were there, and that's why I won. Any given Sunday, right? Like
any given Sunday.
It can happen, but if AMs work on their putting, go inside out, that's the way to go.
That's definitely the way to do it. That's what you read that everywhere. If you're on any any forum, social media, and you ask for advice, everyone's gonna tell you to putt.
Just don't do it with nomads.
Yeah, do it with wizards.
Don't do it with wizards either. Do it with logics. No,
There's a
that
reason
was
Gateway's
just
still afloat, and it's the wizard.
that's the only reason that they're afloat.
No, they make good discs.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Nothing wrong with the nomads. I was just taking a shot at Luke, one of our team members. He loves the nomad. We just go back and forth about it, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Simon comes out with for his putter because those anodes are just not going to cut it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good disc.
He's going to have a putter come out. I just feel it. I just know it.
I mean, the nomad's the nomad's got the numbers of the P2. Doesn't it's got a different?
It's about the feel for him.
It's got a different
P2 is
nose
deeper,
angle. No, the P2 is about the same depth as a.
Thought it was deeper.
Everything
deeper,
like
and it's the inside. Like if it's more rounded, I think that throws him off.
If it's
I think
more
that's
rounded,
what he
I
said.
thought the anode was rounded.
More
on the
rounded
inside.
on the inside.
I thought the anode was rounded on the inside. Oh, that's got a very flat. That's a very sharp angle on the inside. Okay.
We'll see. The logic was really close to the P2. That's why I started putting with it.
I don't think they are. I think the logics are so much shallower.
It's not that much shallower.
Not that much. And I mean,
I had a
Wizards,
P2 in my hand. I had a Logic in my hand. The Logics were easier to get a hold of. I started putting with them, and it worked. P2s could be a lot deeper. I held it for maybe one series of putts, practicing putts, and it just didn't feel right, and those clicked. So I was coming from a Fierce. Those just became too hard to get, and the prices was just skyrocketing. And even being a retailer was like, come on. I had just got into retail when Discraft switched over to the subscription base, where you just pay a monthly fee and you get whatever they have in stock. You weren't even able to pick.
Yeah.
So
that's
it just made sense for me to go with Discmania, and ever since I haven't looked back. So
I'm gonna get you to switch to a Voodoo.
I mean,
at some point.
I'm not looking to switch putters, but I'll try some. I don't think. I think I tried a Judge.
You putt with beadless putters though, typically.
Yeah, I can't stand. Even I did a micro bead.
I'll get a putt with Warlocks then.
I did a micro bead. Is that the
Warlock's a beadless wizard.
The Judge?
The Judge has a bead.
EMAC Judge.
EMAC Judge has a micro bead.
Has a micro bead. I tried that for a little while. It was a little too stable, I think. It's less stable than the Judge, but still, I didn't like it too much. See, I was just transitioning from the Fierce into something, and these hooked on. I don't see a reason to try anything else, but
yeah, that's fair. I think the reason. So yeah, you don't care as much about the plastic feel.
No, I do.
But you just like that soft
and
soft.
This soft, grippy plastic.
See, that's what I think.
Feels nice to me.
Gateway does the best though, and they have for a long time. Is they have a plastic type for everyone. They have a putter and a plastic type for everyone. You can find some blend that feels amazing in your hand. Like I've recently found 2S, so super soft glow.
Do you have yours with you? Where are yours?
Yeah, they're in my bag over there.
Would you mind? Just hand me his bag, please.
I putt with super soft glow wizards.
See,
I think they're the perfect mix of. I originally putted with Mic Pro AVRs, so like the stiffest and slickest putters you could imagine.
Okay.
The bottom one's not mine.
Okay.
Mic Pro AVRs, the stiffest and slickest putters you could imagine. And then
your bead bothers me already.
I've been ever since searching for a better feeling Mic Pro AVR. So these are super stiff. They don't have a ton of give in the flight plate, but they are so grippy.
So mine are opposite. See, if you feel mine, these are the ones that I'm switching into to beat in because my other ones are beautiful, but I want to have a backup set just in case. Now, feel the give, but feel the grip on mine. I feel like mine has more grip than this.
It probably does because it's soft.
And I have super soft is my go-to right now.
Yeah.
But I have to get more of them. So I practice a lot with the soft in the winter. And the super soft I had to put aside because it was getting a little beat in. So definitely not a wizard. I won't try that. But if you have one without a bead, I'll have.
I'll make sure we order Warlocks when we order.
I'm getting to the point where I'll beat you with your own putters.
Sure, beat me with my own putters. Love to see it.
It won't happen, but I'll do it. We'll get some video content out about that. Actually, are we gonna pull a Drew and ride the MVP wave and just putt with some MVP putters just cause?
You can. That's what Hunter Thomas is doing. The other guy from Foundation. That's not Trevor.
Yeah.
He put the tweet up. It was like, if this tweet gets X number of likes and Simon actually goes to MVP, I'll putt with Ions for the year.
Oh my
And it
goodness.
did, and Simon switched, so now he's putting with Ions for the year, and he is putting bad.
I've tried.
It is hilarious.
I've tried Ions. I've tried a few of the MVP putters early on. Again, I've come back again to some discs that I tried early on when I was so brand new.
Sometimes you got to do that because you don't know how to throw back then. So
It was just the feel for putts. That's all it
Yeah.
was. Feels for putts. Didn't like it.
I don't think
cycled
MVP
through.
has anything unbeaten, truly unbeaten. Just the way the overmold sits on the core. They all have a little micro bead at least.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't putt
That's
with
probably
any of
why.
them. I don't like them.
Except for the pilot, obviously.
You know what? I think the maiden had a bead, a micro bead.
Did it?
That was my first real, okay, now I'm taking this game serious. And it was Cooter. Shout out to Brian Cooter,
Yeah.
who put a maiden in my hand and said, try this. And I was like, oh, these are amazing. I putted with those for a while until the Fierce came out. And the Fierce being understable and glidey helped my style of putt at the time. And since then, my style has switched to, I would say, mostly spin. Not in between. I'm a.
No, I think it's a pretty good spush putt.
You think it is?
Yeah.
I think you have
a very good putt.
I think it is good, and I like it. But I think when I have a miss is because it becomes that splish style. Because I don't spin it enough, and that's when it's like lofty, and I'm like, okay, it's in, and I'm walking away, and then it just like nosedives right in front of it. Like we talked about it earlier.
That can be just more legs
some
too.
good one. Yeah, no legs today at all.
So that's part of what I changed in my putt is I think about really pushing off my leg, and then where I bring the putt down to.
Okay.
So I always think about push off your leg, and that drives the disc straight into the basket.
I switched. I used to putt from here. Mo was the one who I saw him cashing some from here with his spin, so I said, let me try that style one time, and immediately improved my putting.
Yeah.
But then I started bringing it a little lower so I can just get a little bit of that curl before I let fly with it. And that has been working for me. But I feel like when I'm stuck, like literally sometimes I'm stuck mid-throw. Is this going to be a spin or spush?
Yeah,
and you can just see that reaction. So I like the discs, but I don't know. Did the Maiden, does it show?
Beadless.
It is, okay. So, yeah, that started my love of beadless, and then from there.
Yeah. I mean, Mick Pro Aviators are beadless. I just don't put my finger there. So it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, wait.
I put my finger on the edge of the rim, not underneath the rim.
You do?
Yeah. I put it on the top of the true edge, not underneath, so I don't feel the bead at all.
Let me know what you guys do, ladies too. Do you put your putters straight on the edge here, or do you get underneath for your fan grip? Do you still do a fan grip?
I still do a full fan grip underneath. I think I get my pinky into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get my pinky into the rim a little bit.
Wow. Oh. See, I do like a mixture of that when I'm throwing my driver, throwing with my putter.
Yeah. No, I get my pinky into the rim.
I have like a 3-finger with on the edge.
Yeah.
That's how I'll throw it off the tee. But when putting, I get it all the way into the hand, full fan out here.
My hands are too small. That might be why.
Yeah, mine are. I got pretty big hands.
Oh, it's a totally different grip.
Yeah. I just messed up your putting now.
No, you didn't.
I feel when you're trying to get the pop of the
That's why
spin.
people are bad putters.
When you're trying to get the pop of the spin, put it inside the hand and get that on your rim because you got more surface to give it that full. That's how I am.
No, this changes your wrist angle.
What does?
Where you put your pinky changes your wrist angle. Maybe that's why my putt's nose down. Maybe if I get my pinky out, my putt wouldn't be nose down. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that out.
Yeah, you're right. Because that just feels weird. It makes you automatically want to
Tilt the nose down.
tilt it down. So, yeah, get your pinky out of there and start spinning it.
Huh.
I might have helped you with something.
Might help me with putting.
And it might be on the interwebs, so you can't take it away.
I mean, it's not getting cut. No, maybe it gets cut.
Are we at the 1 hour mark?
We're approaching 1 hour.
It's not getting cut. It's saving. We're going to lead off with it. This is going to be the thumbnail. I taught Marcus how to fix his putt. No, I can't say that.
No, it's Marcus hates the Gybros.
Jeez, he used the word hate again. Let's circle back. It's a strong word. They are opinionated. Everyone's allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, but you need to be good at disc golf to have an opinion.
Oh my God. Okay, so Charlotte's already gonna be over and done with, but we're gonna find. I mean, Dan will smash you with MVP, but he's a pro.
He's a pro.
So we need an AM who has chosen MVP 3 as their discs of choice, and they are technically an amateur at MA1 or 2.
I
MA2
don't care who
players
you
can
are.
bag this guy too. So, actually, Sully. No, he mixed his up a
No.
little. Yeah, because he
Yeah.
had some cast on. He had some other things. Jeff. Nope.
Jeff all
He
MVP?
he mixed his up too.
If
We'll
you
find
if
someone.
you are an amateur and you throw all MVP, let us know if you're somewhere else in the country. Let us know where you are. Maybe we'll make it out to you sometime this year.
We are going to travel. If you're local-ish, let us know. We can still make it happen, and somebody can beat Marcus and say that MVP3 is a legit choice, and you're okay being an elitist. Aren't you one?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why you don't like them. Elitists don't like elitists.
No.
I don't want to say that's the word, but that's what Steve Holloway basically, his message in that podcast was, don't keep telling people that you're better than them. Don't tell them
Yeah.
our plastic is better than them because it comes off standoffish or whatever. But if you're better, you're better. Like,
No, see, I'm elitist because I think if you only throw one company, you're dumb. And
if you're not sponsored,
if you're not
because
sponsored,
he's sponsored, he's throwing to one company. But
yeah, they give me them.
Drew has the best setup. He's
Sponsored by
Infinite.
Infinite, they give them.
They give him all of them, and they're helping him come out with his own. So,
Yeah, right. I just think I think there was too many molds out there. I liked too many molds. I thought there were too many good discs out there. So I wanted someone to just be like, here's our lineup, throw it. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
That was why there's
get
just too
that.
many good discs out there.
I get that, but
Like, I can make anything work.
I do feel amateurs are cutting themselves, selling themselves short by going to one brand only.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But I don't knock them for it if they're comfortable and they find something that they like.
Yeah, but, like, try a zone. Like, just go
That
throw a
is
zone.
not fair.
Go
But
throw
you don't
a
have
zone.
you don't have a zone now. What are you gonna do?
Devil Hawk.
It's not a zone.
No, it's not.
Not a zone. So one
I
mistake Bob made is he
Power
put a
down a
harp
mold.
in my hand. And I was throwing a harp, and then Justin saw it, and he literally took it out of my hand, put a zone in my hand,
Yeah.
and it was
The zone
it
is
after that.
such a good approach disc. No, I power down on the Warrior or power up on the Devil Hawk. The Devil Hawk, if you want an overstable Berg, if you want a disc that will fade and maintain fade, get a premium Devil
The
Hawk.
K2 Berg. Where's my K2 Berg?
I don't know. They're at my house still.
Give me my K2. Look, give me. Obviously, I'm going to purchase a K2 Berg from him. But
He's not.
what do you mean? No, you literally texted me and said you have them. So
Yeah, right.
They're coming here.
But I'm just going to give it to you.
Oh, okay.
You've given me plenty of discs
Yeah,
over the years. We just trade discs a lot.
K2 Berg to me is stable, especially the newer ones. They were stable for me, and I beat mine in like to hell. It's not an Eric Oakley Berg, which is
No,
laser
those are
straight.
Laser straight.
But those were stable. So
No, the Devil no. The Devil Hawk is zone overstable
okay.
with a Berg flight, with a Berg
Are
glide.
you saying that because no zero glide is what you're
Right.
saying?
They're awesome. They're
Really?
super cool.
Okay. What are the numbers on that? Does it have a thumb track?
It does have a thumb track.
So what I'm hearing is when we do a Berg only,
Yeah, I'll throw
we
my
could do
Devil
a
Hawk.
Berg Devil Hawk
Yeah,
/ pig.
we can allow the pig.
I feel like we can let the pig in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even a polecat.
No, it's got to have a thumb track.
Okay.
Devil Hawk is 3302. I feel like it's 3304.
Are you serious?
It's really over. Like, as soon as you throw it, it starts to fade.
Okay. We're going to have some fun with that one.
It's
then.
really overstable. It's
All
an
right,
awesome disc.
so look out. We're going to put a post coming up in the next week or so. We're going to do like a save the date. We're just going to have one fun round at probably Pine Woods with the Berg, Devil Hawk. We're going to have a gathering there. Berg Lovers Unite. We'll have some fun. And we've been tossing this idea back and forth of a possible Berg tag league. So he can get some incredible tags done, or we can actually just like die the numbers right onto the Bergs.
Berg, and you trade.
And that's the one that you roll with until somebody better or worse
challenges you and beats you, or you beat them.
and I like that idea. I just hope that it's not. I hope that there's more people that throw the Berg than what I think there is, because I know it's one of those love it or hate it,
Yeah.
and I would like people to give it a chance to join the league.
Yeah.
Not a league, but the tag league.
The tag league. I think tag league
I'd
would
like
be
them
fun.
to join it and just have fun and learn, because I am personally responsible, and this is a fact, for at least, I'm going to say four people who saw me on my approach game with Bergs, go and buy Bergs. I had one buy one directly from me. I had one buy one at LVC 2 years ago. So we're in 2023 now.
So.
LVC 2021. I was throwing my Berg on the approach shots. And that Saturday when they opened up for everyone, he went and he got a Berg. He actually got two of them, and he was throwing it on Sunday. And then who else? Somebody else local here. So, yeah, they see you throwing the Berg and like, I want to try it. Oh, Luke, he wants the Eric Oakley Berg.
Yeah,
he threw it once, but he's seen me throwing it, and he sees, like, I draw a medal on approach from that Pine Woods ECP, like, a lot. And I've had some throw-ins with it, so that's another person.
Gateway on their the flight numbers on a Devil Hawk are 3304.
Okay.
Infinite's got it at 3302.
See? You said it should be a 4.
I said it's a 4.
All right.
They're on the website. Code 89913 for 15% off if you want to.
We can do this again for Marcus. His code.
Or anything else, Gateway. Get your Wizards. But
we're not
Devil
putting
Hawk's sick.
Order in for Gateway probably until our first tournament, which is in a couple of months. So
yeah.
We'll be putting that schedule out really soon. Actually, by the time this airs,
by the time it's out, our schedule will be out.
We should have the schedule out. But yeah, we'll be carrying some Gateway. We try to support our players, so we're gonna have Gateway. We're gonna have RPM.
Prodigy.
We're gonna have Infinite. I want to have Prodigy, but people have been force-fed Prodigy for so long.
Yeah, we got a lot of Prodigy around here.
And the only issue I had with Prodigy is I had an order in of all plastic, because that's all I wanted from Prodigy. The towels. They had nice towels.
Yeah, pretty sure they make nice towels.
They had nice towels. And that's all I wanted was the plastic and the towels. They canceled my order. And they said the order had to be a minimum of, I got to check the email. The minimum had to be with an additional $800 in accessories.
Wow.
Because dyeing was in my name. So he didn't want me buying the plastic and dyeing it and selling it.
Right.
But I'm a retailer, number one. Number two, I throw tournaments.
Right.
So we need plastic. Number three, I didn't want to carry Prodigy anyways. It's been force-fed in the area. Not a lot of people just... When I say force-fed, it's... So many people did it early on with Justin.
They were sponsored by Prodigy. Yeah, we had a lot of local pros get sponsored by Prodigy.
So you saw it everywhere you went. And then the plastic fell off for a little while, right? Now we're talking about the ash.
Yeah.
But it fell off for a little while. They've come back and they got good stuff. I like Prodigy. Yeah. They've got some good stuff. Spencer can win with it.
Oh, yeah. Anyone can win with anything. I'll win with Gateway this year.
Yeah. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I had a problem with Prodigy. I don't want $800 in accessories from you. No. I just want your plastic and maybe some of your towels. The practice bag was nice.
Oh, I love those Prodigy duffels.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
They didn't have enough for that time of the order, but it just kind of made me meh. I definitely have more people looking for Discraft, Trilogy, MVP3, all of that. So that's what we went with. So now, this year, we're going to try to help our team members. We're going to focus on the Gateway, the RPM, the Infinite, and then we do have Prodigy. So, maybe we will put an order in if they've changed their tune on what the minimum is for accessories and whatnot. Yeah. But or maybe we just suck it up and get some accessories because not everybody wants to just get plastic with their winnings.
Right,
at
that's
a
good
tournament.
Point. Yeah,
maybe they want.
You can never have enough towels.
Bags, towels, or something else. We'll revisit that. So
Prodigy's coming out with a new bag this year.
You know what? MVP. What are those? Osmosis bags.
Oh yeah.
Those I have some of those, and I've carried those.
They're not chalk
forever.
Bags, but they're
osmosis bags.
Yeah, they just absorb the water.
They absorb the moisture out of your hands. They absolutely 100% work. Tried and true, tested all the way through. Yeah. You don't really wipe your disc with it. It just gets the moisture off your hand. Yeah. You get a towel. You can. You don't have to chalk it up and get it powdery and get that everywhere. I do have some of those left, but that's what I like to carry for accessories.
Yeah,
stuff like
because we
really
use them.
Yeah,
and we can say, hey, if hey, I got $6 left over. What can I get? And we're like, get one of these chalk bags. Get one of these.
Chalk bags and minis when you have that few dollars left over.
You never have enough minis.
Yeah, especially if you're going to play sanctioned tournaments. Use your minis. It matters. 3 shots, 4 shots. Mark your lie and use it to your advantage. Use your minis. You obviously can't use another disc. My son has tried that a couple times as he learns sanctioned tournaments, and One time I caught him picking his disc up to tap in, and I said, violation on my son. I had to do it. Sometimes that's the way you got to teach
called
him.
readout
You
on
did.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
at my tournament. I was following his card.
Sometimes you just have to do it. You just want to help people. That's all. Get better. So, all right.
That's probably our time for today.
That's our time for today. Hate is a strong word. Let's not use that.
Sorry, Jai Bros. I'll come for the Prodigy guys
my
next week.
goodness. Oh, no. Not the Prodigy guys. Jai Bros, please.
I gotta
somebody
find him
hit us
first.
up. Oh, ouch. What do you mean? Spencer will wipe you.
Yeah.
He'll wipe you. Well,
see.
you know what? Spencer, he's calling you out directly by name because you're local and you're on the team. So we'll see what happens. That can be filmed, absolutely.
Maybe not at JD, and then we'll talk.
Did he beat you at JD? Did you go heads up for that?
I didn't play him at JD.
Because you were scared. Okay, next. MVP,
No,
Jai
because
Bros.
I'm good at Team Challenge. We lost, didn't matter.
Then you're not good at Team Challenge either.
We lost because Spencer made a winning putt.
The Prodigy guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you're making my point for me.
I didn't play.
Why didn't you play?
I didn't play to lose to Spencer. I put up my champions in my team. I put up my 2 highest rated players
Okay.
who
All
played
right.
really well that day.
Just not good enough for the win. Okay.
Just they missed the putt.
I'm sorry, guys. Whoever lost to him, I'm sorry. Your guy's cocky and elitist and couldn't back it up. Jai Bros, please give us a shout out. Anyone in the Northeast, like you said, we're going to be traveling. So even if you're not in the Northeast, maybe Southeast, maybe Charlotte, whatever, somebody please drop a comment.
Yeah, Jai Bros.
Let us know. Let's teach him a lesson. And like I just don't like the comments. So I feel like there's somebody out there, even if you're an amateur, not sponsored by MVP, that can take him on. And if you can't, we'll just still have fun recording it, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us again. And
Like, subscribe, comment,
don't forget to
hit that bell.
hit that bell. You want the alerts for when they drop. You don't want to wait for somebody to tag you or share or anything like that. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.